Hello, fabulous friends and fans. Welcome to your horoscope for the week of January 10th, 2016. I am your astrologer, Nadiya Shah. Thank you for being here. This week should offer a wonderful respite, where last week was really about a building of tension, of energy, sometimes feeling just downright frustrated, feeling like all the effort in the world isn't amounting to anything. It was at the end of last week where the energy gave way to what now is going to be revealing itself as tangible and very positive progress. In fact, it is going to look like for a lot of people out there where you felt hopeless in love, surprises will abound. Where you felt that an opportunity just burnt away and was gone, this is where it comes back around. And this week is about empowering us, allowing us to start fresh, and allowing us to understand the events of last week with greater clarity, but also greater determination to go in a positive direction, to live in a more positive way, and to experience more prosperity, more love, more happiness. So again, last week, pretty intense, right? And then it ended the week, sort of the cherry on top, what gave way to what's starting now, the new moon. So late last week, there was a new moon that took place. As that new moon took place, it was almost as if all of the intensity that had been taking place over the course of the week, it was a very active sky last week. You might want to watch the introduction to last week's horoscope again to better understand how the energies were coming together. But it really was this new moon that created a fresh start, new beginnings. New moons are always new beginnings, new perspectives. It's planting seeds. Sometimes those seeds are practical, and very likely they either have been, but most likely they will be. And it will be this week that the real promise of new beginnings starts to manifest rather quickly for some of you out there. So what's happening this week? One of the main things that's taking place is that the Sun and Mercury will meet in the sky, and both will speak in supreme harmony with Jupiter. So the fact that these two planets are speaking in this way, a supremely harmonious conversation, it does suggest, on the one hand, positive energy, right? Positive attitude. But both of these planets, in fact, all of these planets, these three planets, are in Earth energy. They're in Earth signs. And Earth is about manifesting. It's about making real. And it's about tangible progress. This says to me, and especially with Mercury retrograde right now, it says to me that where we thought we just lost the chance and it fell away, this is where very likely it's going to come back. Or this is where we realize that it probably was a good thing that whatever it was that we were pushing for and trying to make happen didn't happen, because now the rewards come of realizing that there's another way to go about getting something that is either the same thing or would be equally rewarding. So this is about the universe allowing us to get a different perspective that helps us to become aware that there are a whole lot of ways, there's an abundance of ways to make amazing things happen for yourself. And that things really can turn around in a snap, in the best possible sense, but in a tangible sense as well. Again, this is Earth energy. So Earth energy is about what it is that's actually manifesting, what it is that is actually being created, what is happening in your lived experience. It has to do with prosperity, with abundance, but more than that, it has to do with moving away from just dreams and hopes, which is what, you know, the Sun and Mercury together, just on their own, that energy can be very elevated. It can be like passionate and intellectual, but without Earth, right, it just sort of stays in that realm of being part of air and fiery kind of energy. And then we've got Jupiter. Jupiter's all about dreams, right? Jupiter's all about your hope and your vision and the possibilities and just feeling and believing, really, that whatever it is, everything can change, things can be amazing, everything happens for a reason. All of that ultimately is belief. But the fact that all of these power players are speaking together, the fact that this is happening in Earth signs means that it's not just going to be about belief, it's not just going to be about ideas, it's not going to be a whole lot of hot air, which is what the Sun meeting Mercury sometimes can be. But it is about that clarity, that conversation, that connection, that interaction that moves your life positively forward in at least one area of life. Also this week we have happening, very exciting, I think, to me, especially given last week. So last week Venus was involved in a few interesting conversations, right? She was speaking with Neptune, meeting Saturn in the sky, and you may remember I did advise, regardless of your sign, it was definitely not the week to be going all out on a makeover, something dramatically different, or any kind of permanent changes. But also where it came to anything aesthetic. So if you were just making changes, buying things purely for creating greater beauty, or having experiences purely for the aesthetic benefit, it was a good week to hold back. Now this week, that energy changes dramatically, and that is because Venus will speak in supreme harmony with Uranus. Now this is the kind of conversation that chance encounters are made of. And the fact that Mercury is retrograde does indicate that an opportunity that might have felt lost may come around again. It does indicate the real possibility that someone that you had a feeling with, had a reaction with, whether or not it felt like they were responding or whatever, anyone that you felt a certain lift from and they made an impression and then they were gone, right? This is going to be a time very possible when they come back around very much by surprise. This is also a time when we understand what has been in love very differently. It's like that light bulb moment, the proverbial light bulb moment, where we see our past in love differently. But ultimately this is fire energy, and fire energy is certainly has a lot of movement, has a lot of passion to it as well. But also when I think of fire, I think about this, this idea of being fired up, right? It suggests a beginning, if you will. And Uranus is in the first sign of the zodiac, in the sign of Aries. So this particular conversation does suggest to me that strong connections, again, Mercury's retrograde. So if it's someone brand new, very possible. If someone new comes along right about now, or a new financial opportunity comes around right about now, it may not be what you think it is. So pace yourself, okay? Enjoy the moment is really what this is about. But where it is that maybe in the past there was some disillusionment or disappointment, this will be that chance to clear the air, to clear the energy, and to head in new directions. New directions that ultimately create a lot of and a deeper sense of enjoyment of life, enjoyment of love, enjoyment of things as well. And for some of you out there also with this particular conversation, there's the real chance with Venus speaking in supreme harmony with Uranus of a windfall, a financial windfall. Definitely possible to some of the signs out there, particularly the water signs. Of course, I'll touch on that in the individual horoscopes coming up soon. But overall, everybody will benefit from this energy. It's an energy of action. It's an energy of sudden delights and everything turning around for the better. Well, thank you so much for watching the introduction. I'm truly so grateful for it. This week, very exciting. I'm so grateful that you're here. I just want to send you guys a big burst of gratitude. You've been interacting with me so much online, Facebook, Twitter, Google+, my website, nadiyashah.com, and the YouTube comments as well. I'm so grateful for it. Lots of support, lots of sharing, commiserating Mercury retrograde stories. Also, my gratitudes have kind of been all over the place because of that. And so thank you. And thank you for continuing to share your gratitudes with me for the first 28 days of this year, the first 28 days of this month. Now, I love your questions. Please do keep them coming. I'm really happy I'm getting work done. So that's really awesome. And I love your questions, especially when you ask questions about astrology, about your astrological journey. So definitely there's a list, it's going in the list. And there are a bunch of Ask Nadiya questions, like the hashtag Ask Nadiya. There are a few videos in the works, so those should be shared with you quite soon. I'm so sorry about the delay with the January horoscopes, but thank you. Thank you for your patience, your feedback, your love so grateful for it. And this weekly is being recorded like really early, well early. So hopefully it gets out there in time. So my fingers are absolutely crossed as well. So sometimes you guys ask me questions that are a little bit more personal, having to do with your unique circumstances. Thank you so much for your trust, for wanting my interpretation of your unique birth chart. And I'm very happy to do so. I'm very happy to create a video, really, that answers your specific questions. You tell me what you want me to look at in your chart, in your unique birth chart, and I will create a video that is uniquely just for you. Now, before, there was a brief period of time that only the rush option was available in the deluxe packages. But then a lot of people, a whole lot of people were asking me to bring back the regular priced horoscopes, the lower priced horoscopes rather, that would allow a longer waiting period. So there is a 2-month waiting period on those. But at least some of you felt that it would make it a little bit more accessible for you to access. So those are available, and I have promised that they will be available through the Mercury retrograde season. So I will keep them up. Personally, I get readings as well in different types of things. I have friends as well who we read each other's charts, if you will. And I prefer to do them during a Mercury retrograde, actually, I do. Even though you'll get it after the Mercury retrograde as well. So if you're the kind of person who likes to get it after, have your reading when it's not Mercury retrograde, then that's awesome, you'll get it after. But then you can still benefit from the Mercury retrograde with this purchase. Because the thing is that Mercury retrograde is a really good time to reflect, to take another perspective. And sometimes you can be really in a situation, like I know I can be, and just looking at the sky, just considering the sky and considering my life from that perspective allows me that little bit of a distance to consider my life symbolically and to consider some of the larger lessons that might be playing out. And that's why I also tend to connect with my friends and ask them to look at my chart, because that gives me another perspective as well. It allows me to reflect differently. So whether it is me looking at my chart again and sort of being open to how else this could be interpreted, or it is exchanging readings with a friend, this tends to be the energy that I personally like to utilize. And with Mercury, especially this week, Mercury speaking in supreme harmony with Jupiter, with the Sun, amazing insights are possible. So if there is anything that you're hoping to get another insight on, this is a good time to be open to that possibility. This is a good time to be open to the messages that the universe is constantly trying to provide to us, whether it is in your astrological practice or any other area of life. Life is constantly asking us to look at ourselves so that we can become more conscious as we move forward towards greater love and greater wisdom. Also, I am so grateful you guys are loving the jewelry, the Astrofabulous signature line of jewelry. Thank you so much. And also the clothing line, the merchandise, the universe is wise and loving merchandise that is available as well at the shop on my website. Now, those are done in partnerships with other companies that have well-established structures in place. So they take care of all your, like the customer service, they take care of your orders, they take care of the deliveries. So there's always someone there that you can reach out to and connect with to find out what's happening with your order, to make sure you get it and to make sure that you love it as well, that all is well. And so that is all on my website. As I said last week, I am running sort of an ongoing thing for the first 6 months of this year. If you purchase something or have purchased something, you take your picture with it and put it on social media. Make sure you tag me in that photo, please. And if you do that, then you will enter a draw. And every month, once a month, I will be giving away a personalized horoscope. So you will win a personalized horoscope. So that's pretty cool. And that's one way to give back. Another way that I'm really excited to announce that I am hoping to give back as well, because a part of my resolutions this year is one, to be more grateful, and another, to find new ways, creative ways to give back. And another one of those ways is, I know that a lot of people out there who are friends and fans are also emerging artists as well. And so I want to give emerging artists a chance to showcase their work. And so if you are an artist, if you have a portfolio online or you've got a Facebook page, or Google Plus page, please do share it with me. Share it with me. Let me see some of your art, and one of your art pieces may be chosen as the background. So the background that you see right now, this could be one of your artworks. So please feel free to send us those links if you would like your art showcased in either the weekly horoscopes or possibly the monthly horoscopes. It would be great to give back in that way, to share your brilliance, to share your art with other people. As you know, everything I do, absolutely everything, is to affirm in the world that the universe is wise and loving. And you being here allows me to live that mission, and for that I am so incredibly grateful. It really is everything. And I hope that this video in some way, this video you're watching right now, in some way infuses your life with hope, with inspiration, and a reminder of this, what I believe is a deeply held truth. The universe is wise and loving. So how all this wonderful stuff happening this week, and it really is wonderful this week, isn't it? How all this wonderful stuff speaks to you and your sign is coming up right now. Hello, fabulous Aries. This week, Uranus in your sign is getting this wonderful boost from Venus. So it might not be as big of an impact as it might necessarily be for others out there, because you are the one holding the power player after all. Uranus is a whole lot stronger than Venus, and yet you are definitely going to benefit from this. And there are a whole lot of ways that this can manifest, but of course, love and money, the main ways. So this can be, as I spoke of in the introduction, somebody coming back around by surprise. Oh, wow, it's you. Now, in some cases, that'll be really awesome. That'll feel really great. In some cases, it might be a little bit, I mean, like how I'm seeing this play out actually is it looks like you may feel that you're in a strong position, that you're in a pretty good position. And so it could be that you run into this person while you are on a date, or you are already talking to somebody, meeting somebody, or it could be that you are in a relationship now, you're in a partnership with someone who's amazing, and then you run into this other person. So it can be very interesting, it can be fun, it can be light, it looks positive all around. This week has lots of really positive energy playing out, so that's really encouraging. And of course, it's always up to you to decide how it is that you're gonna elevate, right? Elevate, always good, it's always good to do that. But it does look like fun all around. This also can be really nice for just connecting with someone new, or just having a really nice moment that gets you thinking about possibilities and realizing that you actually do have a whole lot more options than you realize. Elsewhere in the sky, we've got all this really supportive energy happening for you where it comes to work, where it comes to career, where it comes to getting the right interview, where it comes to making the right impression, but also where it comes to a tangible opportunity, especially coming back around. Now again, Mercury's retrograde, so things could really turn a different way next week or the week after, considering all the things that Mercury is doing for the rest of the month. But even with that, this can be that really nice break. This can feel like that step forward. There might be more work to do, okay? There might be more to prove or more to reach for. But for now anyways, when that opportunity does come around, and especially if you get a phone call to have an interview, try to make it happen this week, because this is going to be the time when you've got lots of luck on your side, where especially an opportunity that might have been denied to you before, felt like it was not accessible to you before, comes back around, and you really make an amazing impression, just knocking it out of the park. Hello, fabulous Taurus. This week we have Jupiter, Sun, Mercury speaking in supreme harmony in fellow Earth signs. So you're definitely benefiting from this energy in a whole lot of ways. You add to this your ruling planet, Venus, is speaking in supreme harmony with Uranus. Again, this is in many ways, it's going to feel like your week. It's going to feel that way where it comes to romance, where it comes to love, where it comes to adventure, where it comes to thinking about the next thing or the next move. Where is it that you now want to go? Where it comes to understanding that your life in many respects is more meaningful, that every moment is more meaningful than you necessarily have been giving it credit for. And also with this energy, and especially with Venus speaking with Uranus, I mean, this could be money coming to you, like finally showing up. Maybe you've even forgot about it. Money that was owed to you finally shows up for you. That refund finally comes through. Those benefits are finally approved. You may have an interview process. You may have to connect with somebody to make that happen. But it looks like there are lots of people on your side and lots of people working overtime to help you have the prosperity that is, in some cases, long overdue. Where it comes to love, look, you've still got Jupiter being highly activated, a very romantic part of your sky, and also your ruling planet being highly activated. This is great for either affirming the love that you have or for being open to new love. If there was someone that you flirted with, right? You flirted and then they just kind of went away or they kind of vanished. You're, okay, what happened there? You are definitely one of the signs that can find that person reappearing in a very random kind of way. But definitely you're one of those people who will be able to take full advantage of that occurrence. Also this week, I'm just going to add this out there. I'm just putting it out there. Lots of creative energy for you, okay? Lots of creation energy. If you're any kind of artist, if you rely on inspiration, this is a time when a little bit of structure can lead to a whole lot of output. But also, this is a very fertile kind of energy as well. So if that's something that you're hoping for, you've got lots of cosmic energy on your side to make more of whatever it is that you want more of. Hello, fabulous Gemini. This week, we have got such a wonderfully placed sky. Not as active as last week, but thankfully so. This week, it does look like the energy is just nice all around. So you're gonna have to be really conscious to tap into this to make the most of it. We have got some really lovely energy taking place, or being activated rather. We've got Jupiter hanging out in the very bottom of your sky. So in the part of the sky that has to do with home. Getting these really lovely vibrations from a part of the sky that has to do with large sums of money, grants, loans, bursaries, insurance payments, tax returns. So these planets, speaking of supreme harmony, does suggest that you will continue to benefit from last week's new moon. And not only that, but you certainly can continue to benefit in financial terms as well, whether it comes to buying or selling a home in particular, or anything home related should go exceptionally well now. Especially if there was something, or maybe you just went to Home Depot, you were looking for something, they didn't have it. This is the time when it could come in and it ends up being way better and way less expensive and way better quality than you had previously thought. We've also got this lovely conversation happening in compatible fire signs. So you're an air sign, yes, but air signs are going to benefit from this particular conversation most, next to the fire sign. So fire signs most, and then you're second in line from having this lend itself to wonderful romantic breakthroughs. So we have got Venus in your opposite sign at that, speaking with Uranus in a very friendly part of your sky. That has to do with friendships. Whatever disappointments, whatever reality checks were taking place last week, you will know this week that it is in the past. And it is going to be this week that either a disappointment from last week turns around, either with the same person or with someone brand new. So if you and your partner found it really difficult last week, or were trying to figure out your way forward, this week all becomes well in some very quick moments. And if you are one of those people open to meeting someone new, you've got all this cosmic support on your side saying that if you're just a little bit social, just a little social, amazing connections can happen for you. Hello, fabulous Cancer. The new moon that took place at the end of last week, now this week is really going to start to deliver its biggest blessings and its biggest boons as well. So we've got lots of romantic energy taking place, lots of energy saying right person, right time, connecting with other people, forming partnerships, romantic or business, will create great luck for you. So even if last week there was some frustration there was some uncertainty, there was a feeling that you wanted a breakthrough to happen, this is when you are going to fully start realizing some really lovely breakthroughs, especially where it comes to connecting with others one-on-one. If you are in a romantic bond, this should be a lovely time for you all around. It should feel really nice. It just feels like you can really talk to this person, which is going to be very meaningful to both of you. And if you are not necessarily in a romantic bond, but just getting to know someone or open to meeting someone new, it is, I mean, the universe is just working overtime to make a connection happen for you, and a connection, or the deepening of a connection that looks very, very promising. Now, of course, Mercury is still retro, so keep that in mind. Next week and the week after, it really is going to be truths will be revealed, right? Kind of energy. And it may turn out a whole lot better than you think, okay? So it doesn't necessarily mean you've got to think anything not absolutely positive, but just know that staying open, meeting people, and the people you meet now can really become long-term prospects. Or someone you're just getting to know now, you'll glimpse how they could become a long-term prospect. However, it is going to be in the fullness of time that the probability of that will be more fully revealed before the month is out, for sure. Elsewhere, we have got this lovely conversation taking place between Venus and Uranus, which says there's going to be lots of work opportunities for you and a whole lot of career opportunities as well. And so this just suggests to me that the workplace becomes a lot more enjoyable. You start to feel more welcome. You have a feeling of being accepted. You find your groove this week in work that you're doing. But it also is in the process of doing your work that you could end up making a romantic connection with somebody, very possible. But if not romantic, just feeling valued. And that really does mean a whole lot. Hello, fabulous Leo. This week, really, the fire signs in many ways have lots of really pleasant surprises happening for them, which is great. And it also is the fire signs who are going to most benefit from all this wonderful activity that's taking place between, that's happening in the earth sign. So between Jupiter and Sun and Mercury. It is the fire signs that benefit most from the practical energy, creating greater opportunity for themselves in work and career, and for you specifically money especially. So money and work are a really nice area for you right now. You've got lots of cosmic support to make some amazing changes and opportunities happen for yourself. And so remember in the introduction, if you watched the intro, I said it might have felt like an opportunity fled and now it'll come back around. That really is very strongly for you. If you felt that there was a work-related opportunity that seemed to pass you by, or if you felt like, you know, I like to say, they say opportunity only knocks once, but that is not true. Opportunity is endless. The universe is abundant in every way. And this week is going to work overtime to try and prove that to you. So where it is that you might have felt before that an opportunity that you really wanted passed you by, now something should come back around, and it might actually even be better. There might be greater clarity as well, and a greater sense of what the true nature of this is. But if it's something brand new, just know Mercury's retrograde, so you're going to pace yourself a little bit, okay? Where it comes to love, as I said, the fire signs really have it made, and for you, I think the romance factor is especially high. So we have Venus moving through a very romantic part of your sky, speaking with Uranus. And so the chance of just, you know, that flirt that changes everything, that makes you see yourself differently, and that can really leave an impact. That flirt that wakes you up from a slumber that you might have felt that you were in for a really long time, very possible for you this week. So it is going to be the fire signs out there, especially you and the Sagittarius, that are going to have this awakening, if you will. But for you, it's got a very strong romance, flirting connotation to it. Where it comes to those in established bonds, this is also a very lovely surprise that is designed to bring some romance back into what otherwise might have been feeling a little bit predictable as of late. It is going to be now that there's going to be an effort made, a surprising effort for that matter, to remind both of you why it is and how it is that you got together and became committed to begin with. Hello, fabulous Virgo. This week, Jupiter is in your sign. Jupiter in your sign continues, right? This is going to be right until the late summer, but right now getting a strong boost of energy from Mercury and the Sun at the same time. This is just lucky, okay? So this energy overall for all of us actually does indicate an element of luck, but especially the earth signs, very strongly speaking to luck, and especially for you. So, you know, as I like to say, don't break the bank, and Mercury is retrograde, so be mindful of that. But it could be a really good time to buy a lottery ticket, you know, spend that dollar, get that lottery ticket, might be really good to do. This also can be a really nice time to take a chance, especially if it's a chance that came around before and you didn't take it and you wondered, oh, you know, maybe I should have, maybe that would have been fun. That's the key word, okay? Maybe it would have been fun. If you find yourself saying that and the opportunity comes back around, this is definitely the time to take that opportunity. It can benefit you in so many ways, and as part of the mystery, even benefit you financially as well. Also, with this particular energy, there's a lot of romance and flirting that is denoted with this particular conversation, but it's solid, right? It's suggesting that anyone that you meet now, likely, again, because Mercury's retrograde in this part of the sky, if it's someone new, as I've been advising you, you know, I've been saying to you and the Cancers out there, if you meet anybody right about now, it might not, it'll either, you know, be something very different in a few weeks' time, and it might be better, so that doesn't mean that you have to think it won't be good. It doesn't have to mean that at all. And if you break up with anybody, you're not likely to stay broken up. And this becomes very, very true for you. This is the week where the reconciliation, the desire to connect or to stay connected, it becomes very strong and becomes very likely. So if you're in an established bond, this can be really good for healing anything that needs to be let go of. This is going to allow you to do that, to say we are strong, we are solid, we are moving forward, to understand how deeply you do love this person. And for those of you open to meeting someone new, with all this very solid, grounded energy, your prospects look really, really good. You will connect with people, that's for sure. And yet, you got to give it a little bit of time. And yet, of course, trust yourself, see where it is that it goes. And where it goes might be really awesome, especially if you're meeting them this week. But you can't really fully know that and understand that until we get you towards the very end of the month. Hello, fabulous Libra. This week, we have got your ruling planet Venus speaking in supreme harmony with Uranus in your opposite sign. There is some benefit in love with this, okay? But I think that for most of you out there, the benefit will be mostly for those who are already in established bonds, who've been in those bonds for a while. It's going to help to talk it out. And it is conversations that are going to be very revealing right about now, but it might end up actually be revealing in really good ways. Like you didn't realize how this person that you've been with for so long actually liked you for a really long time. So these little stories might come out now, but they end up surprising you and delighting you. Those of you open to meeting someone new, it does look like there's lots happening online, okay? Lots of communications going back and forth, text messages and things like that. How much is tangibly manifesting? Well, the thing is that you've got Jupiter in the sign just before yours, which is a very hopeful place. And it's a place that's a very quiet kind of place. You're not always necessarily aware. And then we've got the Sun and Mercury moving through a part of the sky, also very hidden, sort of the lowest part of the base of the chart. So all of this does suggest that if you're connecting with somebody, Very likely there's someone that you have already had a connection with. In fact, very possibly a connection that goes way back. It's very possible that someone is, just sort of says, hey, I was thinking about you. It's been quite a while. What's up? Like getting those types of messages exchanged, very possible now. But there are other ways that this energy, of course, can play out, particularly when I consider that home element, that grounded element, that desire to be strong within yourself and to know something very deeply about yourself. The only way that's going to come is by allowing yourself some space. And space is something that you are going to want and need, for that matter. So be willing to hang out close to home. I think a lot of you also are going to find yourself wanting to spend time with your family of origin, or wanting to feel a sense of family. And so this is a really good time to carve out that space so that you can be with those people that you have strong bonds, established bonds, especially those going way back, who can help you to understand yourself better, to feel stronger, and just to feel the love, right? Love is a transformative force. And this energy says that it is the love of those that you know and those that you have already established bonds with. It is that love that can transform you in a very meaningful way. Hello, fabulous Scorpio. This week we have got this nice conversation happening between Venus and Uranus. Now, for the water signs out there, as I said in the introduction, for the water signs, this is progress where it comes to money and work and career. But for you specifically, it is the money that is especially highlighted, and the work as well, but mostly the money. So this can be a raise. This can be a really nice opportunity. This can be an opportunity that you felt, sort of passed you by. And then very likely you'll get a phone call, or you'll see the job listing up again, and you'll reach out to connect with a particular person. So this can be very nice, and it can be an opportunity to do something very different. Now, Mercury is retrograde. I've been saying to all the signs, Mercury is retrograde. So know that everything isn't always as clear as it seems. And especially where it comes for you to listen to people, to be talking to people, the messages that you get, you might not be necessarily interpreting the right way. And actually, I do think it's almost like I see you getting a sales pitch. And the pitch is awesome, and you want to believe it. You want to totally believe it. And the opportunity looks so good, and it is. It does look like there's a genuine possibility for prosperity to take place. But you might not necessarily realize in the moment just what it is that entails. So be mindful of that and be open to those prospects, because it is very possible now, it is very likely now that you will find yourself just feeling like abundance is with you, that opportunities are with you, feeling very in alignment with a greater sense of prosperity. And just out of nowhere, a really, seemingly really great opportunity can present itself to you. Where it comes to love, it is in your, whether it's money-making endeavors or self-value endeavors, that you can make a real connection with someone. Now, again, I think I've said it like 3 or 4 times already, Mercury's retrograde, we know this. And yet, if you're out shopping, yes, shopping is actually a really great environment to run into somebody, whether it's someone from the past or run into somebody new. A really great environment to connect with new people in particular, and to find yourself surprisingly being flirted with. It can lead to something more tangible because we've got this strong earth energy. But I do think that as you have the flirt, plans might be made. But if that person actually shows up to a social event, then that really can be a big game changer. And that could be a person that really could go with you forward for a very long time as well. Those of you in an established bond, it just looks like you're valuing yourself more. There's lots of prosperity right now. Your spouse, your significant other, very likely is feeling very happy for you. And also there's just a lot of support. There's a sense of companionship that allows you to feel that much more secure in all it is that is manifesting for you now. Hello, fabulous Sagittarius. You have Venus in your sign. And last week, I know I might have sounded a little serious, and I'm sorry if I was a little bit too serious. You know, I said to you, don't get a tattoo, don't get a plastic surgery, don't worry about anything that doesn't seem like it's going the way that you want where it comes to matters of love. The turnaround is coming. This is the week the turnaround happens. This is the week when things really feel like you find your groove and things are going your way, especially where it comes to all matters of love, of beauty, of aesthetic changes, and money as well. So those of you who, you know, like I said, if you had that appointment, cancel it, reschedule it. This is the week to be rescheduling it too, especially if it's about redoing something aesthetic, okay? So it's great, maybe not too much of a dramatic makeover because Mercury is still retrograde, and yet it does look like the Mercury retrograde likely is going to speak more to matters of money, right? Okay, you might not realize how much the thing is going to cost until you've had it done, and then you got to go pay for it. And also, this has to do with love. So I'll get to the love part in just a moment. But where it comes to you making aesthetic changes, I don't know exactly what they call it, but you know how sometimes, like if you wanted to, like let's say, like redo a tattoo, right? So if you've got a tattoo, it's really old, it isn't really what it is that it was anymore, or whatever the case may be, maybe you've changed. This is the time when having that consult or having that appointment to make it something else, again, I forget what it's called, but to do that, very blessed under this sky. And also any kind of corrective, if you've already had some cosmetic procedures done, this is a really good time to redo or touch up if the case may be. And also with this particular conversation, I think that, I mean, you could just find some amazing outfits that look great on you. Amazing new makeup also that just suits you. So this is really great where it comes to matters of beauty and love. Spa treatments, especially ones that you've had before, really can create some very lovely results for you now also. But as I said, Mercury is retro. Mercury's retrograde in a financial part of your sky, so make sure things might scan different than you're thinking. And it might be their error. It might not even be your error. So you have to be open to that. And also, very possible with this is that because Mercury rules your opposite sign, and this has to do with partnerships, right? Those of you in established bonds are going to find that, I mean, it's almost as if I'm seeing whether it's a financial gift or an opportunity, but it seems directly related to a partnership. So it might be a work-related partnership that creates a wonderful success for you now, or it might be a romantic partnership, actually, that ends up facilitating greater prosperity for you, helping you along your goals and your dreams for the future. So whether that is just giving you the right advice, offering you the emotional support, or it might be much more tangible, where it is that your partner connects you with an opportunity that manifests wonderfully, also very possible. Those of you open to meeting someone new, it is so much more about Venus in your sign, and you really are one of the most luckiest in love, especially new love right now. So get your flirt on, enjoy yourself, get out there. There is going to be a real desire on your part to enjoy life, to have fun. And I think that also you'll just be radiating that something special that is going to attract all kinds of options your way. Hello, fabulous Capricorn. This week, Sun and Mercury meet in your sign and speak in supreme harmony with Jupiter. It really is your world, and it's going to feel like the world is your oyster. And I literally mean the world. This is a travel opportunity, a higher education opportunity, opening up for you, an opportunity for an adventure to know more than you did before. And it seems to not only create a greater sense of happiness, but also is going to be connected to greater opportunities for you in the bigger picture. So very possible now that any travel or higher learning stuff might actually be directly related to your work or not, but it allows you that leeway, if you will. It allows you that segue to bring a merger to the two, to bring the best of you forward and also bring that part of you, or bring a part of you forward that really desires to have some new experiences, desires to explore something new and to enjoy life, especially where it comes to enjoying what could be at a distance. Those of you who are, especially if you are applying for university, applying for graduate school, this could be the time when you get some really great news. Whether it is a scholarship, whether it is even a position, right? You actually get into the school. All of that becomes very possible for you now. And whatever it is, especially if it's near and dear to your heart, that is what is most likely, and what's most important to you is most likely to be blessed. So this is really lucky all around. You also are one of the lucky ones. All the earth signs have a lot of luck working for them, but in slightly different ways. And for you in particular, I think when you're going big and dreaming big and taking on an adventure, or wanting to be more, know more, do more than you have before, even with Mercury retrograde in your sign, you've got so much cosmic support to make something wonderful happen for yourself that does create some lovely momentum. Do keep in mind, as much as there's luck with Mercury retrograde in your sign, things might not go exactly as planned. You might change your mind, but it looks like things just appear to be so positive that really it does look like things are moving in the right direction. Also, this, especially if it's something that you'd let go of or seem to pass you by, come around again, then you know that, okay, this is solid and really meant to be. So if you were put on the waiting list for a university program, this is going to be when you get in. If it was that you were trying to get into a particular program and you couldn't understand why, your applications weren't being received or whatever, this is going to be when the right connection happens. You get that clarity, you know which way it is that you are going, and end up getting some really wonderful news in the process. So really the answer comes down to you and trusting yourself. Where it comes to love, a person doing what they love has a way of attracting love into their life. And I think this truth is going to become that much more evident for you. For the most part, love is a little bit behind the scenes right now, and staying very close to the heart, close, sort of close by, where it's not necessarily something you are looking to broadcast right about now. And so that's fine. No, very soon, Venus will be entering your sign a little bit down the road, and that's when you're really going to start to feel like a blossoming taking place. But this week, let things be a little bit quiet. Be mindful, because it does look like if you're open to meeting somebody new, you might convince yourself someone's flirting with you when they're not. So just be a little mindful of that. And let things pace themselves. Let things play out as it is that they are meant to. By the time we get into next week, you'll at least have that clarity to have an understanding of which way things are going. Also, with this particular sky, where it comes to matters of heart, if you are in an established bond, your partner is really wanting and really going to be part of bringing forward the best of you. Hello, fabulous Aquarius. This week, we have got Venus continuing to move in a part of the sky that is considered your home, if you will, right? It's your home in the sky. It's literally called your house, over which you have providence. And that Venus is speaking to your modern ruling planet, Uranus. This says that all matters of love, of friendship, of seeing how these things can actually change you and surprise you, how opportunities can come back around or opportunities just open up right in front of you. All of that very possible for you now. Where it comes to somebody coming back around, this could be an ex. It might not even be that you want anything new with them, but just to have that little moment of a catch up and just to feel that sense of adoration, if you will, appreciation, a mutual appreciation, should be very heartwarming. But it is, as soon as you get over the surprise, but it is a lovely surprise. And if it's somebody new, keep in mind, as I've been saying to everybody, Mercury's retro. So you'll have to pace yourself, give it a little bit of time, but with all that, you've got wonderful cosmic support, especially if you're engaging friendship and social occasions as part of the process to either meet someone new or strengthen the connection you have. But this is also about seeing yourself more lovingly, seeing yourself in a much more positive, more empowered way than you have before. With this particular sky, I do think that things have the real chance now to progress in a positive direction in many areas of life, especially where it is where you are particularly visionary. So when you bring forward your visionary best, that's when some wonderful breakthroughs can take place in love, in life, and also in creativity and in message as well. In fact, I do think if you're one of those people who likes to write, which a lot of Aquarians do, this could be the time that that book you feel is in you really starts to come forward, where you find it just so easy to let those words flow. Those words are actually really valuable at that. Elsewhere in the sky, we do have Jupiter getting all this energy from behind the scenes for you. And Jupiter is placed, of course, in a part of the sky that has to do with passive income, creating wealth, and generally what's called other people's money. So it looks like there are little angels working overtime on your behalf behind the scenes to make it so that you create greater financial security for yourself by honing in and focusing in on the projects that truly matter and creating something, contributing to something, a project, a work-related desire to create greater prosperity. You are in some way giving that energy. Others are giving it that energy that it needs to make a lasting contribution and a lasting impact on the greater sense of prosperity that you build now and for a long time to come. Hello, fabulous Pisces. This week we have got all this energy being given to Jupiter. So we have got the Sun and Mercury moving through a very friendly part of your sky, social occasions kind of part of the sky, and it's zooming in that energy to Jupiter in your opposite sign. Really, in many ways, love is luck this week. And so if you are planning to do anything where you're hoping for things to go your way and you're in an established bond, if you can, bring your partner. If you can, involve your partner in that. Because that ultimately is going to end up working to your advantage and working in your favor. Just having them there could be amazing. But also, if you are in a business partnership, especially, and connecting with that person, business, and this time pleasure as well, actually could end up creating a lot of money-making opportunities for you. So maybe it is, if you're in any kind of business partnership, decide to go to some like sort of membership event, if you will, together, to meet people, to connect with others in the same industry. It could end up being really great for you in the fullness of time as part of creating greater prosperity for you. When it comes to, again, matters of love, you've got all this cosmic support. So a lasting connection could happen. Someone you felt a strong connection to in the past, but they seem to go away, could come back around now, and the love that you have can be made that much stronger. All the water signs also are going to find blessings where it comes to money and career and work, and you are no exception to that, especially where it comes to dreaming big, right? Especially where it comes to the career, the higher things that you are aiming for, and the money that you are making. So you are definitely one of those signs who can get a raise right about now. Definitely one of those signs who could find yourself glimpsing how you could create a jump in your income. So if you are trying to get a raise or you're just trying to create more prosperity for yourself, this could be a great idea. Doing something that you love. This could be your heart leading you in the right direction. And all of this ultimately is about you valuing yourself more, valuing what you give more. And because of all of that, bringing your love ultimately is the thing that creates great prosperity. I believe that this is true in all things. And I think that this truth is going to start to become very evident to you through opportunities and events that take place. It will become very evident to you this week. Well, thank you so much to all signs out there. It'll be a great week. Enjoy.